Hello, Internet, and welcome to my review for Angels of Death, episode 15. God, what a fucking good episode this was. When we last left off, um, Zack knocked some sense into Rachel, reminded her that, he's not, he's not gonna kill her as her god, but as Zack. He's just a person, and Rachel finally gets her shit together. They deduce that the only way out of the buildings from the second floor. Gray reveals to Rachel in another scene about how they have to smash the stained glass window behind the piano in his chapel, and that's where the stairs are. And they do that, and they're headed up the stairs when the self-destruct sequence starts, which causes Gray to grin, which makes a later scene in the episode really weird, because it's not quite sure why he does that. Because we eventually find out that it's not Gray who does this, it's Danny, but I'll get on that in a minute. When the episode starts, Zack is kind of startled by oh, the building's exploding now. And it's great to see Rachel just take charge. You know, she sees there's a problem and she moves to fix it. Great on her. Rachel, really, this is barely the same person she was 14 episodes ago, and I love it. Her development has been so good. And yeah, as I was saying earlier, they do kind of set up that Gray was not the one who started the self-destruct sequence. Because when we see Gray wandering the halls as it's burning around him, he doesn't seem particularly malevolent. You know? He's just wandering and he's almost feel kind of reflective of all the places he's at, all of the bases of his angels, I guess, for lack of a better word. But yeah, so it is kind of set up that Gray's not the one behind all this. But as our two intrepid heroes, Rachel and Zack, are running up the stairs, they find a prison bars blocking their way. They can't quite get through that. Right as the flames, for a while, Zack tries to beat on it with the stick end of his scythe. And then the flames catch up with them. And I had forgotten about the being burned part of Zack's trauma, which is kind of weird because that's why he has the bandages and everything. And so this whole, sea of flames he's wrapped up in is a really good callback to that. And as we do find out, is intentional on Danny's part. It's his way of, getting back at Zack, because he just hates Zack at this point. I have a lot of thoughts on that I'll get to when we actually get to that scene. And so Zack, after a while, starts, panicking. He's back in that state of, he's a 5-year-old again, being burned alive by his mom's boyfriend. And so Rachel picks up her knife and starts beating at the bars with a hilt, because, I'm gonna do this for you, Zack. You're not gonna, die here. And so Zack, touched by her efforts, gets up and slices through them with the blade end of his scythe. I have a couple thoughts on that. I do they frame that as Zack cutting through his past. He sees the darkened version of himself, and we see flashes of the boyfriend. Then Zack cuts through that, and then he cuts through the bars. I do think they made a big deal back in the first basement. Zack couldn't cut through the door. That was kind of the point of why Danny had the metal door in place when he was alone with Rachel and all that. So that was a little bit weird, but whatever. You know what? The scene works well enough, and everything else in the episode is top fucking notch. Because after this, we have this really fun sequence where they're running up the stairs again. As Zack is just slicing through rocks left and right. Which left kind of a nagging feeling in my mind, because I don't think scythes can really do that, but we'll get on that later. And then half the stairs give out, or there's this whole hole in the stairs. And so Zack, not even slowing down, just picks up Rachel, carries her this, and jumps the hole. And for the rest of the way almost, until the way is blocked again, he just keeps on carrying Rachel. I love it. But then, they're at the exit, but this huge pile of rocks comes down. He should probably rock them down. Right. I lost train of thought. Sorry. Um, and Zack's like, Rachel, tell me to break this. And she's like, Zack, break it. And so he drops her and like just slices through all the rocks. You know, crumbling away. And then the scythe breaks. Zack's trusty scythe finally gives out. And I mentioned back when we went to the second basement that it was really nice that there was always a consequence of people's actions, particularly with Zack's injuries. And as much as his injuries kind of admittedly bogged down that arc, as we had way too long, I think we spent way too long in the end on his injuries, but it was nice that they were treated as not just like something to shrug off, like a lot of anime might do. But anyway, after that, they head up to the final room. And I think it's Zack questions her if she still wants to die. And she's like, yeah, I still want to die. And, you know, I also would really like it. And then she asks, do you still want to kill me? Because, like, sure, I'll die. I'll be fine with you killing me either way. But I'd be really happy if you wanted to kill me. And God, I love their relationship so much. And Zack has this great line of, like, I never do what I don't want to do, and I'm still gonna kill you. Yeah, I want to do it. And God, like, their relationship is so fucking twisted. But, like, it's not like, you know, a Harley Quinn and Joker kind of thing where, oh, it's so abusive and that's the twistedness of it. Like, it's a twisted relationship. It's based on him murdering her. But there is still such genuine love there that, like, I don't think there's really anything like this. And I love them so much. Zack and Rachel are like, I kind of realized after this, you know, I've said in the past that Okabe and Curtis from Steins Gate are like my favorite animation of all time. But like, depending on how next episode goes, watch out, Ray and Zack could be coming for you. Just God, what a fucking couple. And then right as they're about to leave, Danny. Danny's just the worst. If you had asked me who, even 3 or 4 episodes ago, who I thought would be like the villain at the end of this series, I would not have predicted Danny. There every now and then you get a villain that you're just shocked is like still around, and Danny is very much that character for me. Like, he was a one-off villain in episode 1, and somehow he's here, the final villain at the end. And I feel like there's some poetry there, but also, like, why? I hate him so much. Yeah, he shoots Ray. He shoots Zack in the shoulder. Everything about this scene is great. From, you know, Zack and Rachel still declaring their, you know, undying connection at this point. Well, dying connection, given what Zack's ultimate goal is, but, you know. And Danny has this fucking rant that I swear is, like, so fucking entitled. You know, he's like, oh, I gave you everything, and Zack gave you, like, Rachel says that she's fine even if Zack if Zack is not the one to kill her, if Zack fails to be the one to kill her because Danny kills her, not if, like, Zack just chooses not to kill her. She wouldn't be fine with that. And Danny just loses it here. He's like, oh, I gave you everything. I gave you your room. I gave you other shit. I'm killing you like you always wanted. Why don't you want me? Me. And, like, he sounds like every entitled, friend-zoned asshole in the universe. And God, I love it when Gray shows up just to, like, shoot him with a crossbow. Like, who has a crossbow anymore? God, I love this episode. It's so fucking wild. But Rachel is, like, pretty much unconscious, presumed dead. Gray keeps shooting Danny with he gets, like, 2 crossbow shots in. And Rachel seems to be dead. And after, like, the second crossbow shot, Gray tells Zack to leave. You know, you have the strength. Leave. You're done. You can make it out of here. And Zack fucking breaks my heart. Screaming out like my favorite line, maybe in the series. What's the point of getting out if she's dead? Oh god, I love them so much. I love the show so much. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And then of course we find out that she's not quite dead, and that there's something right outside that will help Zack save her. Or Gray implies there's something outside that'll help Zack save her. And at the end, so Zack picks up Ray, and they go to leave. And then Danny, like, points the gun at him again, because Gray is, for some reason, not just killed him at this point. Like, Gray, get on with it. We see Danny smile, and the episode ends 5 minutes early. Because, I don't fucking know. Whoever, I thought there'd be, like, an extended, like, post-credit scene, because that's what normally happens when a show has its credits 5 minutes early, but no. It's like a recap of the last 14 episodes. I know this shit already. I've been watching this show since July. I know what's happened. I just want to find out how it ends and what happens next. Whoever decided to end this episode 5 minutes early should be fired. Straight up, should be fired. But, like, besides that, this episode was so good. It was spectacular. You know, like, if you somehow weren't sold on Zack and Rachel's relationship before this episode, there is no possible way you aren't now. They are phenomenal and fascinating, and I love them. And yeah. Also, we get the final episode title, which is, Stop Crying and Smile, I think it's called. So I imagine... So this is my theory. I don't think Rachel's gonna die next week. I don't know. Maybe she'll find a new lease on life. I mean, I don't know if my heart wants her to, like, ride off with Zack into the sunset and go be horribly fucked up people together. But I don't think that's how it's gonna end. I don't quite think that's how Angels of Death is gonna end next week. I don't know how it's gonna end though, and I really cannot wait to find out. So yeah, there aren't a whole lot of mysteries left to ponder on at this point, and there's nothing else to say about the quality of the episode besides, fuck, it was so good. So I'm gonna leave this off here. Hope you all enjoyed the video and the episode itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like, subscribe, whatever the fuck you want, I don't really care. And as always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye!